Man, 39-0, Neil. They came out and they whipped Illinois. I'm curious if we're going to look back on today 5 years from now and say this might have been the turning point for the James Franklin era at Penn State. This was a completely dominant performance.
Well, I mean, obviously it depends on how they do from here.
Sure.
I mean, they have not played well. I don't want to be the wet blanket, but I want to see what they do next week. They've not played well on the road for generally, but this was a great performance. I agree in all aspects. I mean, their defense had not played well in a couple weeks, and really came out and made a statement today, and they have a lot of momentum. I mean, you're 7-2, you're going into Northwestern, and they have a chance to set up a big game with Michigan, and I'm not sure how much more you could ask for this year.
That's right. First shutout win of the Franklin era. Biggest Big Ten win since 48-7 over Wisconsin 7 years ago in terms of point spread. You know, the win over Wisconsin a couple years ago when they were the 3-touchdown underdog, that's the best win the program has had in a few years. But they came out today, and in every facet, let's start with Christian Hackenberg.
Yeah.
He was just outstanding. He was on the money, sharp, accurate all day long.
Yeah, he said after the game, he continues to work on his footwork, and you can tell that he's trying to refine things, you know, during games and during the season, because, I mean, let's face it, his short passing accuracy has been poor for a guy with his ability and with his potential, and he's really starting to get better these last couple weeks. You know, the long passing game last week, and today a real complete performance for him.
What I'm wondering is if the long passes he was able to throw last week got him into some rhythm, got his confidence going. What we saw from Christian today was the bounce in the step. A lot of times he takes the snap and he just kind of stands there really like a statue and then throws it all arm motion. Today he was in an athletic position as a quarterback, and the short passes, if you can't complete those at a high level, I don't know that you can succeed, and he did today.
Yeah, absolutely. I thought the one pass that got him going was the Tompkins route where they faked the jet sweep, and they had him on kind of, you know, the right sideline, hit him right in stride. One of the better passes really that he's thrown this year from a medium to short range. So he spread it out. He caught a touchdown pass. He scrambled at one point and really looked, you know, looked versatile back there.
And the defense, again, was just fantastic today. This was a game that was kind of in Penn State's defense's wheelhouse. No mobile quarterback. Westland threw the ball 31 times in the first half. He only threw 5 in the second half, surprisingly. But this was the kind of game, or the kind of offense that you had to figure Penn State's defense would do well against, although nobody maybe would have predicted a shutout.
Yeah, credit to the offensive line. Also, they continue to adjust, you know, different combinations. You don't have Andrew Nelson today. James Franklin said it's a possibility for next week. But, you know, again, you had different guys step in and make Hackenberg more comfortable in the pocket. He stepped in and around on several occasions. They still ran the ball fairly effectively.
Kicking was a struggle with Joey Julius getting pulled. But, look, the bottom line, like you mentioned earlier, it's like in baseball, you're only as good as your next day's starting pitcher. Well, this is only going to last as long as how well they do out next week at Northwestern. But this gives me the kind of confidence that this team and this program are going in the right direction, that they can go to Northwestern and probably overpower that team like they have done traditionally. Then you win there, and hey, it's not a given Michigan's going to come in here and beat them by any stretch.
And Northwestern has a week off. I think you could see improvement and adjustments, which at the beginning of the season after they lost to Temple, be curious to see how Temple does with Notre Dame. You know, they've really kept an even keel and kept the roof on the building. I think they deserve a lot of credit for that. He's touched on the special teams. Gosh, are they disorganized at times. I mean, you know, you're burning timeouts while the other guy is in punt formation. You're out of timeouts in the first half because of it. You're fumbling punts. Now you change kickers, although the new kicker, Davis, made a couple field goals, which sort of saved that situation. But it has really been a trouble spot all year.
Hey, this was a great day, and this sets the team up, if they can continue this, to go on and have a pretty good season. And I'm not sure that a few weeks ago people would have necessarily thought that.
Yeah, and somebody tweeted out today, I mean, they've now gone through the sanctions without a losing season.
That's right.
I mean, this pretty much guarantees it.
All right, for Neil Rudel, I'm Corey Geiger, Mark Leo on our video. Thanks for tuning in.